How to build a portfolio website using Wix. In this step-by-step tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how we can do this. So as you can see guys, I'm already here into Wix. Wix, an amazing place platform. We can create almost any kind of website totally for free. So if you want to get started, the very first thing that you want to do is to go into wix.com. After that, you can hit to get started, create an email, use an email passcode, and then you're actually good to go. Here it says what kind of website are you creating. What you want to do is to type the keyword of the actual website or type that you want to create content. In our case, you want to look out for some portfolio. So as you can see, we do have different options. For example, I have the UX design portfolio, I have the developer, I have the general portfolio, I have a creative portfolio, or just a portfolio. So what I want to do is to type as much keywords as I can. If I'm creating a portfolio for, let's say for example, photography, I want to choose photo for photography here, or events or sports. So it's going to be, let's say, Wix helping you like a lot, so you can be a little bit more accurate on what you're actually looking for. So in my case, I want to look out for some designed portfolio. So I have the designed portfolio, I want to choose this option. And after that, just hit into next. And the next step is going to be telling you what we would like to call your website. So let's go for tagged designs. After that, I'm going to hit into next. And lastly, it's going to be having you a lot of places and recommendations we can add into our website. Since we are actually creating a portfolio, what we want to do is to add as much information as we can so we can get started with our people. So if of course I'm not creating an online store, so I don't want to enable this. I want to enable, let's say for example, like it formed, or I want to go into the chat, or just choose, let's say, some forum. In my case, since this is just for a portfolio, I want people to check it out, my blog, my events, bookings, for example, pricing plans. If you have, let's say, videos, you can add those, or a form if they want to get contact. After that, I'm going to choose into next. And as you can see now, I can go into two different ways, which is beginning with a template that was already been created inside Wix from other users, or to let Wix create a site for us in just a matter of minutes. In my case, I don't want to look out only for the begin with a template, which is the very first option. And what I want to do is to look out for a template that I can love to use that later. So as you can see, I have different results. I have the graphic designer, I have graphic designer, I have just designer. So what I want to do is to look out for the one that best fits for my actual niche and my design and my creativeness. So let's say for example, I kind of like, I'm going to scroll a little bit down and look out for this one. So I think that this can be a little bit more accurate for me, but that's totally like your own idea. So before you can edit that, you can go into view. And here what you can do is to check it out if this actual template actually is right for you. So as you can see, I do have the home section here, I have some light art, I have the street art, I have the bio, how it's going to be looking, the animation. Of course you can edit the animation if you wanted to. This is just an example. I have the press here. If you think that this is like too normal, you can edit that. If you think that this is too basic, you can go into look for another one. But in that case, I'm going to stick around with this one and choose edit this site. So as you can see now, it's going to be popping out the editor section of the whole template. So I'm just going to wait a few seconds here. And now that I'm inside here, I can go into the left part. I can focus into the add elements. I have sections, I have pages and menus, site design, and there's much more. In my case, what I want to do, if I choose the option that says contact manager, let's say for example that add to my site, content stuffed. So what I want to do, let's say for example that I can start by adding content. And here's going to be popping up what is the name of your collection. So for example, here into my product, let's say for example that I add one video. If I choose to use another template, this content is going to be added into the other template. We're having to add that manually. But if you think you can just use this in a manual way, you can use that. So if I click into the section that I want to edit, for example here the home section, I have the section number 1, which is actually an image. So it says home. So in this home, for example, I think that it's not worthy to have an image, so I can just delete that. And I have start designing a section, add a design section, or to add elements. Now focus into the left part, and here into the add elements, I want to add, let's say for example, a text, a title. So I'm going to choose this one, and automatically it's going to be creating that into the home section. So I can move that here, and I can just start by just adding the actual logo or the name of my brand, which is actually this one. I'm going to just make this a little bit more smaller or a little bit large and leave it like that. So if you clicked here into your actual section, I can go into change section background, And if you want, you can add an image, a video, or the color. In my case, I do love to use videos because I think it's more catchier to use one of those, and it's going to be bring people more attention. So in my case, I want to go for video. It's going to be popping out this section where we can add our own video, we can add a media from Wix, or go into the Shutterstock. So here where it says filter by, I can choose videos, and here into all categories, I want to focus of course into this line. So I'm going to hit into all categories. What I want to do is to, let's say for example that I want to look out for some cinematograph or some abstract, which is actually this one. And let's say for example that I want to focus into something like this, and I'm going to choose this one and hit into change background. After that, just wait a few seconds and notice how your actual website is going to be looking a little bit more interesting. So lastly, what you just need to do is to change of course your title, so it's going to be looking a little bit more interesting. So I can go into edit my text and hit into the actual color, and let's say for example that I want to choose this into, let's say, some white color, something like this, like that. And of course, if you want to add some effects, you can add this into the upper side. Like this is going to be taking some pumping out of our actual template. And there we go. So this is how we can get started. So what you want to do, guys, is to now use this template so you can edit all your elements. What you want to do now, if you want to choose to edit another section, you want to go into the upper side where it says page home. And here, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different pages that we can edit. If you want to delete one of those and just have like 2 or 3, you can go into manage pages. So I think that everyone can be really worthy for me. But in my case, let's say for example that I want to delete this street art, delete here and hit into delete. So if I choose the light art, notice how it's going to be changing me into another place, another section of my actual website. So as you can see, I have the light art. So now let's say for example that I want to add into where it says page, I can go into manage pages, and instead of choosing light art, I want to go into rename. Let's say for example that I want to look out for, so here I can just start to add different sections. Let's say for example that I am an editor of YouTube, so I can add more stuff here into my own section. So I can go into add section, and I can add some videos like for more content so people can see how it should be looking. So as you can see, I have different sections, or I can go directly into elements. And I can go into the actual section which is social, or I can go into my videos, or into the menu and anchors, gallery, and all that. In my case, I don't want to focus now into video and music, and choose videos actually from YouTube. So I can just drag and drop a little bit down. So this is how, guys, we can get started into our actual section of Wix. Just get easy with all the content, which I think is really easy, just to drag and drop elements on your own. Just upload your own content and you can just edit that as you wanted to. After that, you can go into saved, and then you can go into the preview. So it's going to be looking, you're going to go into save and continue. And after that, you can go into view site. And this is how it's actually going to be looking my actual portfolio. If you think that there's something that needs to be changed, you can do that. But in my case, I think it's going to be looking really great. I can change, for example, here my actual menu, because I think is like not looking so well, but I can do that later. So with that being said, guys, this is how we can just end it up with the video. So hopefully this was very useful for you, so you can get started with your portfolio totally for free. Now don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you do want to see more amazing tools about this great Wix section. Thank you so much for watching the video, guys. And well, with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you soon.